All right, so get this. Today, we are taking a deep dive into a place you might not expect.
Yeah, we're going to go deep.
We are going to be exploring the book of Numbers,
That's right.
chapters 5 and 6,
Yeah.
and we are going to be pulling out entrepreneurial wisdom.
That's right. Entrepreneurial wisdom for the book of Numbers.
I know, when I first saw the source material, I was like, really? What could there possibly be in there?
I know it sounds a little out there, but it's actually...
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
it is.
So why don't you kind of tell us what we can expect and why we should be excited about this?
Okay, so if you think about the Israelites, they were wandering in the desert, right?
Right.
So they had to create a community from scratch.
Oh, I see.
And they needed rules, they needed structure, they needed a way to make sure everything ran smoothly.
Oh, so just like an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
You are building a business, you've got all these challenges,
That's right.
and you don't know what's going to happen next.
Right. You are constantly facing the unknown and making decisions and trying to build something sustainable.
Yeah, and oftentimes from nothing.
Exactly. And that's where these laws from Numbers 5 come in. They really emphasize this concept of purity.
Okay, so when you say purity, what do you mean? Not like in a religious sense, right?
Right. Not in a religious sense, more in a way that is really relevant to business.
Okay, so how does that translate into a business context?
Well, the Israelites used these rituals, these rules, to ensure purity. And that helped them build trust and cohesion within their community.
Right.
In the same way, businesses today can use clearly defined processes, consistent quality standards, and ethical practices to build trust and predictability for their customers.
I see what you're saying. So instead of the rituals they had back then, we have like standard operating procedures.
Yeah.
We have quality control checks. We have transparency. We've got all of those different kinds of things that...
Yeah, it's about creating a system that minimizes errors and ensures consistency, and that ultimately builds confidence in your brand.
That's so interesting. So give me an example. Like, how would that look in a real world setting?
Okay, think about a restaurant,
Okay.
and they have really impeccable hygiene standards.
Yes.
That's purity in action.
You're signaling.
Yeah, they're signaling to their customers, we take this seriously. We take your food safety seriously. And that creates trust, and it encourages repeat business.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
I love that. So anyone listening out there, just think about your own business.
Right.
What are some of those purity rituals that you can implement to build that trust and that consistency?
Yeah, think about that.
Maybe it's meticulous record keeping, or just making sure that you're constantly testing things and improving them. Or maybe it's a clearly defined customer service process.
Or being really transparent with your pricing or how you source materials.
Right. All these different kinds of things. The key takeaway here is that, just like the Israelites were relying on purity to maintain order and stability, modern businesses can leverage this principle to create that foundation of trust and predictability.
Yes.
And without that, we're not going to have successful business in the long run.
Exactly.
This is fascinating. I love this. This is really, really cool. And we're taking, these ancient wisdom texts and we're uncovering its relevance.
Yeah.
But I am really curious to move into the next section because we're getting into the Nazarite vow.
Yeah, the Nazarite vow.
And that's where things get really interesting because now we are shifting from discipline kind of on that community level to individual commitment.
Right, a bold commitment.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Right, so the Nazarite vow, this is described in number 6, involved some pretty intense commitments.
Okay.
No wine, uncut hair, ritual purity.
Uh-huh.
It was a serious public declaration of dedication.
Yeah. Sounds pretty extreme to me.
I know.
I'm not sure I'm ready to take that on, but I'm sure there's a lesson in here for us. So let's hear it.
Okay, so it's not about like the literal stuff.
Right.
It's not about the no wine or the uncut hair.
Okay.
It's about what those things represent, the principle behind it.
Gotcha.
The outward signs were really a constant visual reminder of the commitment
to themselves
and everyone else.
Oh, wow.
So it was a way of signaling like, hey, I am serious about this vow.
So you're saying it's not enough just to say, I'm committed.
Right.
You've got to show it.
You got to embody it.
You got to embody it.
In a tangible way.
Wow, I love that.
And that's where it connects with entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Launching and growing a business, it takes so much dedication and sacrifice.
Oh, yeah.
And being able to stay focused when things get tough.
Right.
I mean, the Nazarite vow, in a way, is like a blueprint for making that commitment visible.
Not just to yourself, but to everybody.
To everyone, yeah. Your team, your customers,
Well,
your investors, everyone.
I see. It's about walking the walk,
Yeah,
not just talking the talk.
exactly.
But I mean, how can entrepreneurs signal their commitment today?
Right.
We're not going to ask people to like never cut their hair again
No, no, no.
or give up wine.
Of course not. The outward signs might be different.
Yeah.
But that principle, the principle remains the same.
Okay.
So think about an entrepreneur who's working tirelessly to deliver amazing customer service.
Right.
Even if it means like late nights and personal sacrifices.
Right. Right.
That's a signal.
They're showing their commitment.
They're showing their commitment, exactly.
Yeah.
Or a company that really makes a point to be sustainable,
Okay.
even if it costs a little bit more.
They're committed to their values.
Exactly. It's about aligning your actions with your words and making those tough choices
Wow.
that demonstrate you're really dedicated.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. And, commitment often means sacrifice.
Oh.
And this source material really emphasizes this, like the level of success you achieve.
Okay.
It often really depends on the sacrifices you're willing to make.
You're saying there's a correlation.
Yeah, there's definitely a connection there.
Wow.
Like the entrepreneur who gives up weekends,
Right.
vacations to build business, or an artist who pours their heart and soul into their work.
Oh, yeah. And maybe their personal life suffers.
Right. They might neglect other things.
I see what you mean.
So I have a question for our listeners out there.
Okay, sure.
What sacrifices have you made? Or what would you be willing to make
To achieve your dreams.
to achieve your goals? Yeah.
To achieve your entrepreneurial goals.
Yeah, this is a personal question.
Yeah, this is real.
But it's worth thinking about.
It is, yeah.
Are you willing to put in those extra hours?
Right.
Delay that gratification?
Make those tough choices.
Yeah, make those tough choices that maybe aren't popular.
Maybe people won't understand.
Right.
Yeah.
So, something to think about.
That's deep. I love it.
Yeah.
Makes you really think, right? All this discussion about commitment and sacrifice, it makes me think of this quote that I heard.
Okay, I like quotes.
All right, so it goes like this. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the BS story you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it.
That is good. I like that.
Right. Isn't that powerful?
It is.
It's like often it's us.
We hold ourselves back
We are the ones holding ourselves back.
with self-doubt,
With the self-doubt.
with all the excuses.
Yeah.
And the Nazarite vow, it's about silencing those doubts.
Just go for it.
Yeah, make that bold commitment.
Just make the commitment.
Yeah,
Don't let yourself hold yourself back.
exactly.
Wow, this has been so good.
It's been fun.
So we've talked about discipline. We've talked about commitment.
The commitment.
Two crucial things to
Absolutely.
be a successful entrepreneur.
For sure.
But there's another piece to this puzzle.
Okay.
It emerges from these two chapters.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
And it's kind of counterintuitive.
Okay.
Chapters 5 and 6, they suggest that rules and structure
Okay.
don't stifle creativity.
Right.
They actually foster innovation.
Really? That's wild.
I know, right?
I would think it would be the opposite.
I know, I thought that too.
Is it-
But it's not.
It's not.
So explain that.
Okay, so imagine this.
Okay.
You're building a skyscraper.
Right.
You wouldn't just start stacking the floors on top of each other, right?
No, you need a good foundation.
You need a foundation,
You need a plan.
a well-defined structure.
You need to know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the whole thing collapses.
It would be a disaster.
Total disaster. And it's the same with business.
Okay.
Having processes and systems,
Yeah.
these rules of the road,
Rules?
they actually give you a framework.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it allows you to innovate
Okay.
because you have that foundation.
So you're not just going off willy-nilly.
No, you're not just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
You have that security
Yeah, a safety net.
to try new things.
You can take risks.
But you know that there's a structure in place.
Exactly.
So it's not about being inflexible.
Right.
It's about understanding which rules are crucial
Which ones are essential?
and which ones you can maybe relax a little bit.
Right, what are your non-negotiables?
The core values.
Yeah, the core values
da-da-da.
that make your business your business.
So for some people, that could be customer service.
Yeah, like delivering exceptional customer service.
Or maybe it's making sure that your product is top quality.
Rigorous quality control.
Right, exactly.
And those are your foundational rules.
That allow you to innovate in other areas.
You can experiment.
Oh, this has been so eye-opening.
It's been fun.
I mean, who knew
Wow.
that ancient scriptures
Would have so much to say
about business?
about entrepreneurship. Yeah,
It's amazing.
it really is.
We've come all this way
From the deserts of ancient Israel.
to the boardrooms of today.
I love it.
And the cool thing is,
It's that.
this applies
To everyone.
Whether you're just starting out,
Yeah.
you've got a big company,
It doesn't matter.
this is for you.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up,
Okay.
what's one thing our listeners can do
Yeah, what's one concrete step you can take right now?
to strengthen
Your discipline? Your commitment?
your commitment?
What's it going to be?
Maybe you need to set up a morning routine
A morning routine. Yeah.
to get more focused.
That could work.
Or maybe you just need to finally say out loud what your goals are.
Tell somebody
Make yourself accountable.
to make yourself accountable.
Or maybe it's just identifying that one sacrifice
Yeah, the one thing you're willing to give up
to get where you want to be.
to get to that next level.
We've given you the insights.
It's up to you now.
It's time to take action.
Go out there and make it happen.
That's it for this deep dive.
See you next time.